Hey folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Tuesday, May 11th, 2010. Well, folks, the markets are higher on the day today across the board after gapping lower on the day. Now, again, things started out where you had a little bit of the profits from yesterday on the markets given back at the open. We gapped down as the dollar surged up again on continued fear of Europe, but that quickly subsided. Volume has returned to be a very light type of deal right now, and that's keeping these markets propped up. We know how that was about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and again, the markets are returning to that type of situation. So let's keep an eye on things, how things play out today. You can see the markets floated up for a good portion of the day. Recently, they've started to roll over here again as there are lingering concerns about Greece, Spain, Portugal, you name it over there in Europe. Now, a couple other things to go over here. As you can see, the markets had that gap down, but the key about the gap down is you never took out yesterday's low, and I want to just draw you guys this line. See the low from yesterday at approximately 114.90, 190 right here? The same low was put in today, and notice how you never got through that low, let alone closed below it. Therefore, the support from yesterday that held up so well was never taken out. You have to look at the markets in perspective here. Anytime you don't see a little bit of a level or a major support from the previous day able to be taken out, you have to look to the opposite direction for this market to continue its upward momentum from yesterday. Sure enough, that's the case here. Initially, you touch that low, then rally off the low, then you're able to cut through these moving averages. Once you got above the moving averages, you also have to recognize the fact that now you're above all three moving averages, the 50 moving average, the 200, and the 20. That is a major support area. Whenever you have all three moving averages right here, you can bet that the market is going to try to stay above them when the market is above, or below them if the market is below. Sure enough, the market in this situation is above, and it continues to grind higher. You get a micro pullback here into these two moving averages, only to rebound higher and continue on our upward momentum. Now, you get to this blue line. Why is this blue line significant? Well, if I scan back, you can see this area right here was the high from yesterday. You know that's going to be a little bit of resistance. You touch it here, pull back, you get above it, consolidate. Notice the pattern there, folks. That's an in spirit of bull flag pattern forming, and off of that, you get a nice pop up into the white trend line. The white trend line, if we scan back, you can see where that comes from. And again, we have to scan all the way back to the 6th of May right here for the top little area and the low of this portion right here. And again, you can see how that level right from there and right to these lows going back to the 5th of May and before, that comes into be a play and a key level in this market. You get up to that white line, pull back, you get up above the white line, and then stall out again and start to pull back on the day. And you can see as the market approaches that 117 or got a little bit above 117 to 117.50 level, the markets again are having a lot of trouble in that range. Now, I noted to my premium members of the Research Center yesterday in the nightly video that that was going to be the level to watch. I said 117 to 117.50. You will see this market have a lot of trouble getting above. Sure enough, that is the level we went to today, and now we've pulled basically 50, 60 cents off the highs of the day with a pretty significant rollover here over the last 30 minutes. Now, the volume is not necessarily heavy enough to dictate a huge rollover at this point. I don't anticipate a huge rollover. I think the markets will ultimately end flat. That's what I told my members last night to expect. I said basically a flattish day, give or take a little bit on this market, and right now that seems to be the way it is going. Other than that, folks, again, the alerts, the SMS, the text message alerts are working fantastic, as well as the email alerts. Again, we put out some hot charts and alerts today. We sent out the alerts. A couple text message alerts went out, email alerts, and so forth. Pro Trader watch list, hidden gems, as well as hot charts and alerts are all wired into that SMS and email alert system. So again, you get them on your phone instantaneously as soon as they go up. It is a fantastic new feature that members are very excited about, and we encourage you to come join as you get these key calls that we've been making for massive amounts of profits over the last couple weeks on your phones now to jump onto the website and find out and continue to look for them, all right? Now, again, speaking of which here, keep an eye on the pattern developing on the SPY. You might be starting to trade a little bit on the sideways momentum here. 1, 2, 3 bar sideways could set up for some more downside, maybe to the 50 moving average. If you get right here, you're going to have a lot of support. This level's right around 116. It's about 50 cents lower than current level right now, and again, that's the 50 moving average. If you were to take that out, look for the 200 down here, and that would take us actually to a slight negative on the day, and again, kind of mirroring where we gapped down to today when the futures were down about, 8, 10 points on the open. Now, on the upside, what happens? If we continue to move up, you can move up to the highs of the day above 117 here and then 117.50. Those are the key levels you're looking for on the upside. Now, some stocks in motion today. Interesting to note a couple things here. I have to say, the market is really being led by technology today. You can see stocks like Intel having a good day today. Dell also had a good day, although has rolled over. You can see the last 30 minutes, again, roll over. Apple Computer is a fantastic trading stock today, up nicely on the day, although although that is coming in a slight bit, but still up about $4. It was up $18 yesterday. So a lot of these technology stocks, even like BIDU, I mean, look at BIDU, Baidu.com here. That is having a big day, monster day, just on top of the 20 moving average, up about $16. Now, the whole thing is, if you look at that sector, it looks like the markets are very strong. But what if you take a look at the financials? Let's take a look. Goldman Sachs rolls over and is negative on the day. So while the markets are across the board positive, with the Dow, S&P, and the rest of these things sizably up, or not up too much, but just a sizable up move here. If I get you guys a quote here, you can see the Dow's up about 26, NASDAQ up at 19, S&P up about 3, but the NASDAQ, again, is up 0.8%, while the S&P and the Dow are just up, a quarter of 1%. Either way, look at Goldman Sachs here. Goldman Sachs rolling over, turning negative on the day. How about JP Morgan? JP Morgan is down about 27 cents. You have to be worried about the fact that these financials are not having a lot of success here. Now, again, what's the cause? Could it be continued concerns about Europe? Maybe all this new debt that is sovereign debts that these countries now are taking on that could be bad. Maybe JP Morgan, we know about the investigation with them and Goldman Sachs, or are they holding some of the debt of some of these countries that may be worthless in a few years or so? I mean, these are all possibilities, but either way, the fact that JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs are negative, you have to be a little concerned about that. Now, again, that continues to be the case with stocks like ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil, big day yesterday, but is negative today, down 15 cents. Chevron, let's take a look at Chevron. CVX is the next symbol here. That is also fractionally positive, but barely positive on that, with a little bit of a rollover. So a lot of the Dow stocks here, JP Morgan, Chevron, and Exxon, are basically flat on the day or negative, and that has to be a little bit of a concerning factor for a lot of participants in this market that are looking for more upside. Now, again, technology leading things right now. I still believe that the 117 to 117.50 is going to be a pretty solid level. You may get upwards of the 118 level, but again, be ready for those hot charts and alerts, which will unveil the entry levels for various plays. Whether I'm going short or long, they will be announced. You will get your text message alerts or email alerts, depending on what you decide to choose on our website. And again, be ready, because there are going to be significant plays in the next few days that I will be entering and selling for profits. Stay tuned, folks. Have a wonderful rest of the day. We'll see you in the Research Center or the chat room. Take care.